everyone, Janelle here again. I have got a Mindset Monday coaching video for you, and today I'm going to be giving you 2 tools to help you when you are triggered by fear. And I'm going to use a recent example that happened to me last week and how I used 2 simple tools to be able to move myself through the fear, to be able to get on with my day, to be able to do the things that I needed to do. So if you've been watching my stories in the past week, you will know that I had a little incident the other night after going to the supermarket. I found myself for the first time having to go to the supermarket. I've kind of insulated myself for the past few weeks where I've had veg delivery, I've had butcher delivery, I've just gone to the local and needed to go and actually do a food shop. I had to take my son with me because my husband was going for a run, and it brought up some anxiety. You may be able to relate to this because sometimes when we're in our little bubble and then we have to go into the outside world, we kind of get a little bit maybe complacent. Like I was thinking my mindset was good, I'm happy to take Ethan, we'll all be fine, no drama. However, what happened when I got there was a few things that had changed at the supermarket. Obviously now there's this kind of like herding style. When you go in, you have to wait your turn and they wipe down the cart for you. And immediately when I was looking around and I saw other people's faces, I was like, whoa. There's a lot of fear energy going on in here, and it almost is like every time there's a change in an external environment where we have to adapt to, we can get a little bit of fear from that, and that's completely normal. What happened was though, what triggered me was that as soon as we walked down the first aisle, I saw a woman and she was literally alcohol swabbing and wiping with Dettol wipes the peanut butter jar before she was putting them into her bag. Now 100% no judgment on this woman at all. I do believe that everyone is doing the best they can with the resources they have, and she was doing what she could for her and her family. However, it triggered something in me because automatically I was like, I'm not prepared for this. I don't have wipes. I don't have enough sanitizer at home. We don't have masks on. All of these all these fears started bubbling up in me because of what I felt I wasn't prepared or ready for. Okay, so then what happened is my anxiety flared, and my anxiety may look a little bit different to yours. Some people get a grip in their stomach and start getting pain. Some people start shaking. Some people will have a response where they like almost have a panic attack and they can't speak, they can't communicate. With me, I get a flare of anger and irritation. And so I'm like started raising my voice. I'm going quicker. I need to get out of here. It's that flight mode. I need to do what I do to get out of here so we can be safe. Which I then have a 6-year-old who's with me, who's not picking up what I'm putting down. And basically, as we turn the next corner, he starts to put his hands in his mouth because he wants to wobble his tooth. And I'm like, get your hands out of your mouth. Of course, because now I'm freaked out and stressed out by germs. Okay, so he automatically, the fear gets in him and he realizes what he's done and his face goes completely white, which triggers guilt in me because obviously I'm pushing that onto him. As we walk around the next aisle, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. It's just mummy's a little bit fearful. I'm sorry. Let's just get what we need and get out. Next thing he does, the next aisle, he's all calm again. He goes to put his hands in his mouth again because he's a 6-year-old and he's got a wobbly tooth and he really wants the tooth fairy to come. So he's wobbling that thing as much as he can. So of course then I'm like, code red, put your hands in your pocket, wheeling the trolley. He's wheeling the trolley with his hands in his pocket and the poor child is probably scarred for life. And I'm a mess. I'm just filled with an adrenaline rush. I'm filled with stress and cortisol and I'm like, oh, this is not healthy. This is not working. I just need to calm down so I can drive and get home. So the first tip I'm going to share with you is I started deep breathing. That is 100% how you are going to take what's going on up here, lower it, break the circuits in your brain from looping, okay, and then get it back down into your body. So the breath helps you to do that. What I used was the breathing technique that's in my Learn to Thrive journal. If you've got one, it's on page 29. If you've read it, then you'll know how much I love it. But basically, it's about taking, even if you don't remember this, if you don't have one of my journals, just take 3 really deep breaths. And I asked Ethan to do it with me because at that time I realized that I had also given him a bit of a shake up too. So I asked him to just breathe with me. So how the square breath works is basically you imagine, I'm a very visual person, so it helps me to imagine something so I can shut off the loop of thoughts that are going on in my head, okay, about germs, about I'm not prepared for this, you know, this is not good enough, what are we going to do? He's put his hands in his mouth, now we've got germs, yeah, okay. And I imagine a square, and within that square, I literally take my breath and I deep breathe in as I go count to 4, 3, 2, 1. then I hold, going across the square, 3, 2, 1, and then I breathe out, 3, 2, 1, and then I hold, 3, 2, 1. So it's almost like I'm visualizing something as I'm breathing, so it helps to just circuit break. It helps to calm the circuits of my brain. That stage, because he'd been deep breathing, I'd been deep breathing, I felt more grounded, I'd come back into my body, I was able to then drive home. Once I got home, I walked in the door and my husband's like, whoa, what happened to you? He could tell my energy was off, he could see that I was irritated, I was going on about how Ethan had put his hands in his mouth, he needs to wash his hands, so it had started to come up again. So he said, look, you need to check yourself, okay? Which I'm so grateful for, because he also is helping me to break the circuit. He knows me well enough to know that I'm not my best self when I'm irritated and acting irrationally and gripped by fear. Okay. I started saying to myself 2 things, and this is almost like a mantra, and I'm chanting it to myself. I am healthy, I am safe. 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 And I chanted it enough times while I was deep breathing, putting the groceries away, until I had completely calmed. After that, thankfully, I was able to get back into my normal routine. I felt a lot lighter. I thought I could get through this. I had done the work on myself to take me out of that moment. I then was able to do a client that I had that night, cook dinner for my family, and just breathe through it. So the next day I was able to process it, and I wrote down the reasons why. So I did a little exploration work in my journal, and I just asked myself, where was this fear coming from? And I took a little bit of time to process it, and then I took a little time to write down the tools that I used, and I shared on my stories, and I asked whether anyone would like to know what I used, if you would find it helpful. And that's where this video came from today. So I hope that you found something in this today. Whatever you are going through, just know that there's no judgment. Like, we all 100% are doing the best we can. We all, like for me, I knew that I am like strong in mind, but sometimes we still slip, and I know that I can go back to the tools and I can interrupt the pattern. So if you've got any questions, please reach out to me in the comments today or send me a DM, and I would love to hear from you more. And I hope that you are all having a healthy and safe week. Take care.